request.
Okay, there. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so yes, Jonathan, take it away, my brother. Great to be here with you.
Thank you, Lou. So, hey everyone. So, me and Lou Martin, my good friends, we recently connected last year. We decided to just hook up today and have a quick chat about current events. I guess you can guess what we're going to talk about with current events. So personally, I'm living here in Peru at the minute. I've been going through quite an inward phase, doing some local medicines and a lot of inner work, and I haven't really been connecting to the outer world. And I actually made a conscious decision not to follow the coronavirus when it came out, because I didn't see any need to focus on a negative reality at that time. It didn't appear to be serving me while I was going on an inward phase. But obviously now it seems to be getting to the point where it's becoming serious, and I think we're going to start to have to address it. We can't just like focus positive and pretend it's not happening. We've got to carry on like focusing our positive focus in the most positive direction we can and keeping our frequency as high as possible. But at the same time, we have to have compassion for the people that are suffering through this. And there's a lot of people suffering in many ways, even those people that like can't get to work, and they're like, you know, their relationships are breaking down because they're arguing with their wife about not being able to pay the bills and stuff like this. I'm sure there's a lot like that going on at the minute. And so, yeah, so I really just hooked up with Lou. So I'm here in Peru, like I say, been taking a bit of time out, but now coming back to reality, and about to launch my new platform, Starseed Training World. So keep your eyes, Starseed, www.starseedtraining.world, going to go live in a few days. So keep your eyes peeled, guys. And now maybe if I just pass you over to Lou quickly, if you could just introduce yourself to us, Lou, let the viewers know a little bit about yourself.
Sure. Thank you, Jonathan. It's a pleasure to be here with you, brother. And you know, you're an inspiration to a lot of people, and I'm grateful for the light work that you do and all the service that you do. And yeah, as we were saying before we started recording here, we think that things have really clearly things have shifted. So I'm from Los Angeles. I'm living in Ireland for about 12 years. I live in West Cork, and I've been channeling for about 27 years. And in 1987, I had an awakening experience before the harmonic convergence event. And so I've been studying with spirit for 33 years. And I just want to say, I've said this on other chats, for the previous 6 months, there's just been a sense of dread, heaviness, you know, can't move it, can't shift it, can't get over it, can't get around it. And it's like something's coming, you know, we're all being prepared for something. I didn't know what it was. Now I have some idea of what it is. And I was saying to Jonathan, I learned about all this about 2 weeks ago today. So Saturdays are a big day for me and this healing journey. I've just posted a couple videos. I've done about 10 videos this week. This is number 11, I think, here. And what I'm calling this is how to master a planetary healing crisis. And, you know, we can get into the details about all this. Here's what I wrote for today, just a brief introduction in my letter to my group here. This is clearly a time unlike any other in our lives, where all of us are being deeply challenged on every level and in every relationship to re-examine our values, our beliefs, and our connections to all of humanity, to Mother Earth, and to our ideas about our destiny and our future. So yeah, you know, whatever peace and faith and humor and courage any of us possess, it's truly being called on at this time, Jonathan.
Yeah, it was really last night. Like I say, I haven't. Well, just let the viewers know. I think we talked about this earlier. I like I said, I haven't really been following it at all until, apart from a few updates from some friends. And then yesterday I got chatting to some friends in a cafe, and they sort of gave me the updates on what's actually happening with all like the borders closing down around the world and stuff. And yeah, and just last night, out for a walk just to like get some clarity. And I really sense into the collective consciousness. I guess it's one of my things. I really feel the collective energy. It's a blessing and a burden to be able to feel everyone's energies all the time.
Yo, yeah, baby.
And
what did you get?
So last night, I just really sense the collective energy, like static in the air, like just a vibration. Like I could really feel the collective consciousness rising. I mean, I sense it a lot, especially when the ETs come in. But then it's more like got an ET flavor to it. You like the collective consciousness is more made up of more like ET and like higher dimensional entities. You know, it's not that often that you get humans interacting with the collective consciousness.
Okay.
But I notice it more and more. And like certainly in small bubble realities, but last night I got a real sense of the collective mind and how like many people are beginning to like go through an awakening process due to I assume it's due to the coronavirus. Like I say, I don't know that much what's been going on. It's like I sense this energy of, it was kind of like, oh crap, are all those spiritual people right? that sort of energy, like fear coming up in them, because like
right.
The excitement of like, well, maybe there is something deeper to this reality, which is raising the frequency, which caused me to be able to sense them in the collective energy field because their frequency is rising. But also very much within that energy field, the kind of fear of like, oh crap.
Yeah.
Like what is life? What is divine? I feel like it's raising questions in people.
Yeah.
Like causing them to look deeper. Like sort of, it's like a wake up call, isn't it? It's
sure.
Like, holy crap, I could be dead next week, or my whole life that I thought was going to be real. It could be over next week. Oh shit, maybe there's something else I should have done with my life.
Sure. That's well said, my friend. I mean, what I've been saying, that's beautifully said. What I've been saying is that the work that we've been doing and people like us have been doing with spirit about healing our shadow, facing our fears and existential dread like you're describing and these kinds of things. Now the planet is going to start doing it. And I've literally been saying that since like September. Just this sense of when a tsunami happens, first the water pulls out. And for myself and other teachers, there have just been a lot of struggles over the previous 6 months that were quite stubborn, as I say. And then when you actually can see what's coming your way, you may still be shocked, like we all are. It is a shocking challenge to our safety and our future. But as you said, there are abilities within all of us, to open to this and to make this meaningful and to find out what is the gift here, what's the opportunity that I haven't allowed into my experience in an easier way, that this is going to now force me to take responsibility for and begin to create.
Yeah, and just thinking about like, I think I'm picking up on your positive energy and like thinking about how we can like to to quote Bashar. I don't know if you heard, but you follow Bashar much.
Sure. I know Daryl. Yeah.
Oh, nice, wonderful. Yeah. So one of Bashar's best sayings is, any situation you define positively can only have a positive outcome.
Right. Brilliant.
Because we create our reality, and reality is nothing but definitions and beliefs.
Yes.
So if we say this is positive, then there is nothing outside of us that can, because we are the one infinite conscious. We are source, and it is our free will to define our reality in any way we wish.
Yes.
So there's nothing outside of us in creation that can say this isn't positive if we choose to define it positively.
That's right.
And also thinking back to my business training at university, of course, positive thinking models are employed in business, sport and everything. There was this model called the SWOT model, SWOT, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities and threats. And the idea is that when you're analyzing your business, you look at the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities and threats. But the idea is when you identify a weakness, you decide how you can turn that into a strength. And when you identify a threat, you identify how you can turn that into an opportunity.
Beautiful.
And so one way we can define this positively is that it's caused an opening in the collective consciousness and an opening in people's minds, and then it seems like a dramatic opening in people's consciousness to really just to new ideas about how to live life.
Yes.
And so as spiritual teachers, this is a huge opportunity for us to connect with those people who are going through a lot of suffering and pain, who need our compassion and our support and our reminding that we are infinite consciousness and it's all okay, it's just a dream. And even when your wife leaves you and you've got no money left, it's like, it is just a dream, and like in a week you'll probably be okay.
Sure. And, well said. Yeah, and so like it's an opportunity for us as light workers, if we can call ourselves that, which I think we can, because I think we're all aligning to the light. And I think we all need, and it's an opportunity for us to like reach out, and obviously not like force anything on anyone or like try and brainwash people into believing our ideas, but it's an opportunity for us to like reach out to these people in whatever way we can and say, hey, I kind of understand what you're going through. I kind of went through a similar thing like 10 years ago, and I'm starting to see that, yeah, life is full of ups and downs and highs and lows and pain and joy and suffering, but there's a deeper underlying nature of reality that when you tap into that, it like well, it supports us, doesn't it? It supports us when we allow it to. When we ask for help, it shows up.
That's one thing it does. It always supports us. Like it's always supporting our reality. You know, the law of attraction and all that. It can be hard to manifest a Ferrari for some of us, but when we're like really desperate and we get down on our knees and start praying to God and saying, "I'm sorry, God, please help me," it seems things start to turn around when you get to that point.
That's quite true, and we've all been there, and more people are probably there right now on the planet than in any time before. Beautifully said. You know, I'll give you some quotes from my guides, and then I might channel here in a little bit if we like. They say, you're only responsible for what you understand, but once you understand something, you become responsible for it, for your relationship to it. To the degree that you take responsibility for your relationship to something or someone is the degree that you understand. And that's that to me, that's like, as you're saying, Jonathan, you know, we've all gone through this experience of feeling victimized, powerless, broken open, you know, et cetera. And all of us, no matter how much experience we have, are here every day of our lives to learn. And, you know, the way my guides say it is your heart knows what your mind struggles to believe. So anything we can do to be grounded, to be centered, to be peaceful, to be calm, to be courageous, to be of good humor, to have faith, etc., you know, is going to serve us. And really what I want to say, my friend, is, excuse me, I'm very aware that this is really going to be a big polarization for a lot of people, you know, that there's no room on the fence any longer, that everyone is being really asked by their soul right now to decide what they believe, how deeply we believe it, and if it's true now. And as my guides say, you know when you found the truth, because no matter what it's asking you to look at, you feel more peaceful. You see, the truth is like our grounding. What can we trust more than our deepest truth? So no matter how challenging the situation is, if we look at it and we ask for the truth about it for us in the moment, it will always bring us back to this clarity and peace. And as you said, that's all of our training and all of our experience has prepared us for this very overwhelming and challenging time. And it's going to put us all to the test, and we're going to probably surprise ourselves, both, you know, being more humble and maybe more helpful than we might imagine.
Yeah, so that brings up some deep topics that
Goody.
cause some yeah. So I think we need to, like, as we talk about this, remember that we are a collective, and as we're going through this shift and perhaps this splitting of realities that I'll talk about in a minute, we need to, I guess, remember that we are collective. And so perhaps those people who have, if there are some who have, caught the virus, and perhaps they've, been doing some bad things for a while, and this is the higher self saying, hey, you need to reassess your life. I think we need to remember that we are a collective consciousness, and we're only as fast as our slowest runner, and we're all in this together. And while they're still in this dimension, they still have an opportunity to change, and we still have the opportunity to offer them our assistance if
Sure.
they wish to change.
Compassion.
So compassion, exactly. We need to remember compassion while we're discussing what I'm about to discuss, but because it's quite, it might trigger some people, it's a very difficult thing to talk about. But like you say, you're a Bashar follower yourself. I was a big follower of Bashar. He was kind of my main teacher in the beginning. And and a lot of teachers, he wasn't the only one talking about this by any means. In fact, it's been prophesied for many thousands of years. But the idea that we're going to go through this split that many people pointed to as 2012, which I believe was a significant fulcrum point, where first of all, just a little bit of foundation, there's many infinite parallel versions of Earth, and we're shifting to different parallel realities all the time. That's how our consciousness operates. I can't really go into that too much here, but the idea is that we're shifting our consciousness all the time. This is the idea of the law of attraction. What we focus upon, we create. We're not actually attracting stuff into our world. We're actually just shifting our consciousness into a new reality, into a new dimension, a new parallel reality, we could call it. But what's happening as we've gone through this 2012 split, and now we're well underway in 2020, is we're going through this polarization, a very polarized split, it appears, where we're going into a kind of negative Earth and positive Earth. And those of us aligned to the love and the light, we're going through hugely intense experiences of healing and transmutation that are allowing us to embody very high frequencies of love and compassion. And I think those people who are really just angry and selfish and really can't find their way out of their anger and selfishness at the minute are just getting more trapped in that, and they're probably getting more angry, more lost, more aggressive. And I think this is the split. And people have asked how is the split going to happen? And Bashar says some people will just disappear from your reality, you won't know what happened to them. Some people will pass. There will be natural disasters, most likely, unless you align to a super positive timeline. And it seems that we haven't aligned to a super positive timeline. It seems I feel we're aligning to a very positive timeline. Personally, I have great optimism, but I think this is a wake-up call not only for those people who have no belief in spirituality at all, but also for myself, very, very, very much. Can I just be flaking around in Peru, like processing stuff one day, doing a little bit of work here and there, and smoking weed for the next 2 days? It has its place, but no, I realize I can't. I've got a mission here, and this is critical, for my own benefits, because if I'm creating my own reality, just flaking out and not really following my highest excitement and my guidance is going to take me into a lower frequency and ultimately take me on a lower timeline. And at this critical timeline split, it's so essential because there's, of course, within the positive and negative, there's also infinite versions of that positive reality. So if we want to create the highest timeline for ourselves, it's just absolutely critical that we align to the highest love, light, and inspired guidance of our angels and guides and higher self and everything, and really align with the compassion and what is necessary at this time.
Yes. Well said. Yeah. Of course, it's love and fear, isn't it? And, all of us have all of that inside of us. It's just what we choose to focus on and what we choose to believe. And thank you for your honesty and your vulnerability and sharing all that. All of us are, doing our human best at any given moment in general. But yeah, crisis demands response. It demands resolution. There used to be a thing in the 60s, which was, I was 13 when the 60s ended. So you're either part of the solution or you're part of the problem. And that was sort of about Vietnam and the civil rights and women's rights and things like this. So yeah, there is no God who judges us, of course. You know, I just want to say that part of it. We judge ourselves, and usually we do it. Judgment and fear are the same thing. Anger is fear shouting my name. Anger, hatred, fear, that's all the same downward spiral. And so, yeah, when we can be humble, when we can be vulnerable, when we can open our hearts to ourselves and each other, then healing can happen, and inspiration and clarity, and, you know, we'll be synchronistically moving in the direction of the highest expression of whatever gifts and abilities we have to share. So yeah, I really second what you're saying there. It's the word that comes to my mind, Jonathan, is intensification. That things are suddenly quite significant, and valuing and mattering, and how we determine what is valuable and who and what matters is taking on a whole deeper level of importance. But again, if we can keep coming back to a place of peace, love, and joy, appreciation, gratitude, these kinds of beautiful energies. You know, I was a big fan of the weed back in my 20s. I've been sober for 30 years. That was part of Spirit's deal for me, to be able to channel and teach and study and all these things. But you know, it's finding that place of peace in our hearts is what I want to say. However we do that, and if we can share that with each other, then we're able to help people find hope. And I think that's probably the most important thing that people are looking for, that no matter what the crisis is, no matter how overwhelming it feels, you know, the longer we get into it, there's more ideas, more possibilities, more resources, more resolutions, more answers start to come up. And that's been my experience just in the 2 weeks of learning about it and working with it and praying over it and channeling about it, etc. So.
My phone is overheating. I need to get it in the shade.
Okay. Okay.
I think that's it. I think I've done it. I think it's in the shade now.
All right. Good idea.
Hopefully it won't cease. So.
Okay. All right. Let me give you this from my guides, and maybe I'll do a little channeling here before we finish up, if you like.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah.
Okay. They say. Yeah. Go on.
I just had a quick question on what you were just talking about. You were saying how you like, I can't remember exactly what you said. It's something you like. It was either, you said like it's either good or bad. Like there's two polarities. There's love and fear.
Well, there's love and fear. We decide what's good and bad, but there are these choices for everyone to bounce between.
Yeah, but it seems that like.
Did I lose you? Has your phone melted? I think I lost Jonathan, folks. Interesting. Well, we might have to do a part 2 of this. All right. I'll give my brother a minute to plug back in or whatever's happening there. This was what I was going to say. It's been a great chat. Jonathan, thank you for the opportunity. Yeah, that is the story. Okay, so just finishing up flying solo here for a minute, and then I'll send this to Jonathan. Thanks again to Jonathan and for all of his crew. My guides, I call them Divine Love. I'll read something and then I'll do a brief channeling here to close out. Learn to listen to, trust, and follow your own loving inner guidance by going into peace as often and as deeply as possible. In peace is the presence of infinite possibilities and the answers to all the questions you are seeking. As you sustain a space for grace within your heart, inspiration, and love will find you and fill you. Then you become a light and have hope, courage, humor, and wisdom to guide you to happiness, freedom, and joy once again. Okay, so thanks for being here, everyone. If you want to just close your eyes, turn within, and take a deep breath, we'll send some healing energy to the world and to everyone who's listening here. All right, God bless you, dear friends. So, including dear Jonathan and everyone listening, dear friends, take a deep breath. Dear friends, the love and light of all that is surrounds and supports you. And you are that love, you are that light. Shine your light and share your love. In times of great darkness and challenge, your love and your light make the difference for yourself, for your loved ones, for Mother Earth, and for all the world. Take a deep breath. We call upon the white dove of peace and of healing, of transformation. For humanity is making a cosmic choice at this moment in its own evolution, to let go of the painful past of pain and fear, of struggle and lack, of judgment, of separation, of loneliness, and to step beyond the illusions of separation and back into the oneness of peace, of love, of happiness and joy, of freedom. Dear friends, let the whole world celebrate the awakening in your heart, in your soul and spirit. Let the angels of love and healing guide you, sustain you, and direct your energies in these times of great change, awakening, healing, and growth. We bless you. We give thanks for these moments. We know that humanity and spirit are in truth one. Call upon your guides, guardians, teachers, and friends. Let us love you. Let us lift you up. Let us bring you home. The earth, humanity, and all of life is sacred and will return to a balance unlike any you've ever dared imagine. Peace and blessings. Namaste. Ho ho, are you back? Yeah.
Yeah, you're still here. Oh, cool.
I'm just, yeah, rocking away. I just did a little blessing for everyone there.
Oh, thank you very much.
Sure thing.
I think my video's off, is that right?
It is off at the moment, yeah. Will we leave it there for now and we'll do a part 2 sometime soon?
We can carry on now if you like.
Yeah, I have to kind of wrap it up here, but that felt very, very good for me with you. And I'll send you this and you can see what's on the end there. I just finished up very briefly.
Yeah, cool. We'll leave it there then, and we'll maybe do a part 2 then if you like.
I would love that. Thank you. I've got to go do some house cleaning.
Yeah. Okay, Lou. I'll let you get back to reality.
Yes, that version. Thank you so much
Yeah.
for the opportunity, Jonathan. I'm delighted to connect with you in this way.
Yeah, you too, Lou. Have a great day.
All right, you too, brother. All is well. We'll talk again soon.
Yeah, talk again soon. Have a good day,
Okay.
Lou. Bye.
All right, buddy. Peace.
Peace.